Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever time of day it is. We are Group 1, which consists of me, Noah Hernandez, Leah Hernandez, and Javier Santiago. And today we are going to be talking about our topic of subtracting whole numbers. So let's get into it. Now, what is this subject about specifically? Well, subtracting whole numbers involves finding the difference between two whole numerical quantities, also known as numbers. Essentially, we are finding out how much larger a number is in comparison to another number. This concept is typically learned in the late kindergarten stages all the way up until the first grade. But today we will be focusing on the aspect of leading up to it in kindergarten for the sake of this lesson. Now, when dealing with this topic, usually you should hit a few Common Core concepts. You have five of them here. Those Common Core concepts that are typically hit are number one, make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. Two, reason abstractly and quantitatively. Four, model with mathematics. Five, use appropriate tools strategically. And seven, look for and make use of structure. And as you guys know, we are doing this assignment in a 3-day class learning format. So starting with day one, we're going to be introducing numbers, counting and cardinality, and more. Now, first up, we will only spend minimal time on what numbers actually are, as children typically learn what numbers are when they are the ages 2 through 4, which are the pre-K ages. Now, this can be done by simply just writing out numbers 1 through 10 on a board and repeating them with students until they have developed a familiarity with them, or at least until they're familiar enough to move on to the next step. Now, the next step is that we will model numbers using model numbers and numerical values using models and objects that students are familiar with. This can be done by repeatedly counting from 1 to 10 with either fingers, crayons, or any other classroom objects that you may have available to you at the time. Third, we can then compare numbers and number sizes. This can be done by using the same objects used to model numbers and explaining the difference in numerical value between the two sets of objects. And finally, for day one, we can introduce the ideas of addition and subtraction as adding to and taking away. This will be done by using the previously mentioned objects and using them to add and subtract to make sums and differences. But now, on to day two for my colleague Leah.
I'm Leah Hernandez, and I'll be talking about day two, which is adding to make 10 and subtracting within 5. Uh, in the beginning of day two, the students will begin class by counting to 10 with their fingers. So, review of day one. They will do this along with the teacher so that they have some guidance. Students this age might have some problems or have trouble uh, doing abstract things or having abstract ideas. So following a teacher can make things easier, and using something visual or physical would also help guide them. Students will be given an example of what addition is. Example that I put is that there were two birds sitting on a tree, and then two more birds flew onto the tree. So now there are one, two, three, four birds on the tree. Students will be given 10 bears as manipulatives. Manipulatives are physical objects that students can use in order to help facilitate their learning within math. So anything would do like these counting bears or cubes or Legos, they will use these 10 bears to put into two groups. This will help aid in adding to 10. The example that I put is that the teacher will help facilitate the activity by starting with 3 bears in one group and the rest into another group. And make this will help structure an equation. So this plus this and then we already know there's 10. So this equals 10, but what is in this group and what is in this group and what makes it this? Okay, next slide. Uh, then the teacher will go over what subtraction is with using words and visuals. So the example that I put is that the teacher will describe subtraction as taking away something using the bear manipulatives. So there are 10 bears, but 2 are taken away. And because of that, how many are left? So we're finding the difference. Then the teacher will ask the students to use 5 bears, and then if there were 2 to be taken away, how many would there be? The student would do this along with the teacher and their manipulatives, giving them the visual representation, allowing them to get better within their abstract ideas.
For day three, we're gonna talk more about subtraction, a little bit more different. Then with day three, we start introducing new concepts such as number lines or using objects to visualize. And we also introduce things like word problems and key words that help us understand word problems. We also use the past information from the last 2 days to see how everything we learned so far accumulates and comes together in day three. Next slide. So during day three, we know about number lines and visuals. We During this day we teach students a number lines and we help them understand what a number line is and how to use it. We use some examples and we like to teach him using either word problems or it's just regular numbers we show them. Some strategies we can show them for word problems could be either friendly jumps, friendly checkpoints, and same distance, same difference examples. Those will be taught later on after examples and would be taught to children and see what each one is, helping them understand which one will be better for them and which one will be easier for them to understand. And during this part, we'll also be using either visuals such as chips or using candy to see how subtraction works. For example, an example that I thought we using was either like Starburst. We gave them like a certain amount of Starburst. For example, let's give them 10, and then we tell them to subtract 6. So then we get rid of 6 Starburst and see how subtraction works and in a real world situation. Next slide. So during day three, we talk more about word problems. We show them what a word problem is and how there are many steps to solving them. We would then go on to show them each step individually so they can have a better understanding. For example, a word problem that I came up with was Jake has 10 pencils and 5 of his friends need a pencil. If Jake was to give them each one pencil each, how much would he have left? So to start this, we will first need to go over what I was asking. He has 10, and then he's to give it 5. But now we can show them like this is a subtraction problem by showing them keywords. Keywords are words that help us understand if it's subtraction or addition, multiplication, division. For subtraction, some of these words could be they could be have left, how many left, how many more, less, or difference. Once they understand keywords, then we can show them how to solve it. Um, See, right here in this problem, it shows that he has 10 pencils originally, and he needs to take away 5. So after we see that, we find out the subtraction problem, we rewrite this into something they know more, which would be 10 minus 5. After that, we solve it using either number lines, visuals, or any other method they want to use. And then to get the final answer, which would be 5 in this occasion. Next slide. Thank you very much. That's all we had today, and have a good day.